Let me introduce the man of the hour, the one, the only, Brent Spiner! Yeah! Oh no! Hi, you got your coffee? You ready to go? Is it really not on?
Check that. Thank you so much. The love is palpable. What does palpable mean? Do you
Don't
know?
ask me. I failed the SATs. I don't know.
Let me just ask one really serious question. Who are you?
Hi, I'm your moderator. Actually, what I wanted to tell you, in real life, my last name is Riker. So I figured we'd get along pretty well.
What do you mean by real life?
IRL, you know.
You don't, that's not your actual hair color?
It's genetic. Of course it is.
It is very natural looking, I have
Thank
to say.
you.
And don't let me forget my phone, okay?
No, I got you.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you. We'll be working together the rest of the panel here. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I mean, Raleigh, right? Sir Walter Raleigh. I lived in Charlotte last year and the year before. That's here in North Carolina, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a really great town, I have to say. It's no Raleigh, but it's really great. And I don't know if you've ever been to Durham, but please. All right, enough smoke. No, I'm going to not waste too much of your time. Let me just do one thing really quick, because I know you want to take a few snapshots, and this way you don't have to do it the whole time I'm speaking here. But let's start over here. You take a picture? All right, that's enough.
Brilliant.
Now, thank you. And what is your name again?
My name's Heather.
Heather.
Yes.
Heather Riker.
You got it.
Is your real name Heather?
Yes, that is my real name.
What is your, are you Kid Cadet?
Yes, I am.
I've heard of Kid Cadet.
Oh.
Do you have a television show?
I don't. I have a podcast.
Oh, well, hey, same thing.
And I've heard of you too, of course, as have all we in here.
Who hasn't heard of you too? It's
Great bands. Great bands.
band. You know what? I have a special guest who's going to join me out here. I've always wanted to do a Star Trek Independence Day / Buffy panel. So I'm bringing out the wonderful Emma Caulfield to join me. Emma, nice to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I figured we were going to have both of you guys pose for photos now.
Oh
What's
my
that?
God.
I thought we were going to have both of you guys pose for the photos now. There we go.
You know what? We could do. We could do a dual photo op at some point. Maybe
Sure.
Monday.
Sure.
Hi. Hi, guys. Oh my God.
I would have so thought that was like fan adoration, but that was a baby crying, wasn't it?
You know, you
That's
can't
sad.
be sure that baby wasn't a fan.
You know what? That's true. Start him young. Hi, guys. I'm just here because, one, I, for some reason, didn't have a panel. Two, I'm obsessed with him. And for real, I have loved Brent Spiner since I was tiny. And I am the hugest Star Trek Next Generation. It's my all-time favorite show. And thank you. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thanking you, but right, because it's an amazing show. And we got to talking, and we were like, "Why don't you just come up?" So I'm like, "Okay, I'll just sit up here with Brent Spiner and die." My geek girl I'm dying, just dead inside.
I mean, can you blame her?
Who can blame her?
To be completely humble.
So you can just pretend I'm not here, even. Just
Or
if you feel like it, like, "Hey, what's up?" But
if you have Buffy questions, I can
They're
answer
for Star
those.
Trek.
Or
I can
Emma
answer
could.
Star Trek,
You can
actually.
answer- yeah.
Because I'm useless with my own Buffy trivia. I don't remember anything. It's just sad. It really is. If you tell me I did something, I'm like, okay. Was I good? That's great. But I know so much about this show, it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad.
It's sad. I don't know why it's sad.
I don't either, but I've got teary
It's
all of a
awesome.
sudden. I don't know what it is. Okay, so
Yeah.
shall we take some questions?
Take some questions.
All right. Hey. Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, that was a nice little cheerleader move you did there. Could you do that again?
I don't know what I did.
Oh, well.
I mean,
Very
I
much
could,
like Emma.
but...
There you go. Okay.
Hi, my name is Amber, and I like
Amber.
warp cars and stuff. No.
You what?
Warp cars and stuff, because I cheer for Starfleet.
Oh, you cheer for Starfleet.
How noble.
You know what? I think you are the first Starfleet cheerleader I've ever met.
Oh, really? There's a lot of us. I'm not even the only one in Raleigh. I think there's two.
Yes.
Actually, I don't have a question about Star Trek. I was a huge
It's a Buffy
fan.
question, isn't
No, it's a Night Court question.
Night
I was
Court.
a huge fan of Night Court. And believe me, I was so confused why Bob was on the Enterprise.
Were you aware that I was on Night Court, Emma? Were you a fan of Night Court?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. You know
I am
what?
so sorry.
Here's the thing.
Wait, was that where the show Night Court?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know the show Night Court. I'm sorry. Yes, I do. You were on that?
See? And you wonder why she doesn't remember anything about Buffy.
I'm so sorry. I bet you were the best thing about it, though.
Yes. No, I really wasn't. I was a guest shot. I did 6 guest shots as the same character, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
Bob Wheeler was my
Bob Wheeler,
character's
yes.
name. John Larroquette was the best thing about the show.
Yeah.
He was great.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to ask. And I wanted to ask about what was it like to be on that set when you have people like John Larroquette and Harriet Anderson and Richard Moll. Because the show's crazy. Was it the same back, like on the set?
Yeah, it was hell. No, you know what? It was really fun. I was so lucky. I think it was the first job I had when I came to LA, and there was an audition. I went in. I said the character was from West Virginia. He was a hillbilly, and I had been doing this character for my friends when I was a kid in Houston, Texas. That's where I'm from, and I read the script. I think a lot of Houston fans here. From Houston? Woodland. Did you come all the way just to see me? No.
We all did.
Thank you. So anyway, I was doing this character for my friends, and I read the script, and I thought, I wonder if I can do this character on this TV show. And I did it in the audition, and they gave it to me, and well, clearly the rest is history, right?
Yes.
For you, anyway.
Yes.
And certainly for Emma, who...
I love Star Trek and Buffy, but I just remembered Night Court was my favorite show in high school.
It was really fun to do, and I worked with this wonderful woman, Annie O'Donnell, who played my wife. We did 6 episodes, and then they asked us to be regulars the next season on the show. There was a newsstand set, and they were going to have us buy the newsstand and become regulars. And that summer, I got Star Trek, and I had to make a decision which one to do. You know, sometimes you throw the dice and it works out well. Not so much for Annie O'Donnell, but for me it did. And, anyway, it was great fun to do that show.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, Charlie Robinson, who played the bailiff on that show, Mac,
Yes.
he and I got our equity cards the same summer at the Houston Music Theater, in the chorus of the Houston Music Theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I really liked you introducing
Dorothy Dandridge.
Yes.
That was a really amazing job to have. Martha Coolidge was the director of that. She had directed me in another movie called Out to Sea with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, which is still my single favorite job I've ever had. But
With those two, my gosh.
oh, it was incredible. I mean, it was Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, Donald O'Connor, Elaine Stritch, Diane Cannon. It was just like dying and going to heaven every day to go to work. And but so Martha had done that, and I'd done had a good time working on that. So she asked me to do Dorothy Dandridge with Halle Berry. Whatever happened to her, Halle Berry? And the great actor named Klaus Maria Brandauer. Do you know who that is? Klaus Maria Brandauer, very popular with this crowd here in Raleigh. He's one of the greatest actors in the world, actually. Did you ever see a movie called Mephisto?
No.
Okay, you got to watch Mephisto. Okay. He's fantastic. He's one of the world's great actors, and he was in Dorothy Dandridge with us. He played Otto Preminger. And so I was really lucky to come into contact with Martha Coolidge, who, cast me, not just those 2 times. I did 2 other jobs for her. I did a movie for PBS called The Ponder Heart, which was Eudora Welty. It was based on a Eudora Welty short story. Eudora Welty, one of the great writers, Southern writers. You, of course, all know her. And she actually wrote me and sent me a copy of her book, and amazing. She died the next year. She was like, I think she was 150 that year. And then I did the last thing I did for Martha was a movie you'll never forget, and I'll never forget, called Material Girls with the Duff sisters, Halle and Hilary Duff.
Classic.
A classic. It's actually, listen, this is the cast. This is how bizarre it was. It was like Hilary Duff, Haley Duff, Brent Spiner, and Angelica Houston. And I have to think, whenever I think Hilary Duff, I think Angelica Houston. I don't know about you, but...
It's peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly, exactly. Yeah. Angelica and Hillary. Did you have a question?
Hi, I'm Mary, and I wanted to say hi to Emma, and that it is an amazing bonus to have you here because
Isn't it, though? I mean,
Buffy
really.
means so much to me, and I can't wait to watch it with my daughter. I'm really looking forward to that. But my question for Mr. Spiner is,
Thank you.
apparently this is really common knowledge to many of your fans, but I honestly didn't know until yesterday that you would do a devastatingly good impression of Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh my God, please do it!
And I was wondering if you would be willing to indulge us.
Please do it, please do it.
But also tell us maybe the process of developing your impression of Patrick.
Well,
God,
here's
this is
the
the best.
process of developing my impression of Patrick. You have to work with him for 15 years and hear that voice every day. I have to tell you a story. It has to come, kind of organically, and sometimes it's in my throat, and sometimes it's not. I don't know. We'll find out. But what am I going to tell you? Well, when we first started doing the show, I hope you're not recording this because he may see it one day. And okay. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. And anyway, first season we did the show, Patrick was a very important actor from the Royal Shakespeare Company in London. And he'd been, with them for a number of years and was a major player along with Ian McKellen and Ian Holm and all sorts of Ians. And we were a very rowdy group on Star Trek, particularly Jonathan Frakes.
That's
your
right.
namesake,
My
yeah.
namesake.
Seriously, very loud human being, Jonathan, and amazingly wonderful guy, but loud and raucous, and we all were. We were like just wild because we were working 16 hours a day on that show. I imagine you did about the same on Buffy, right?
Yeah, 12 hours was minimum, and by Friday it was
Until 3 or 4.
it was daylight when we went home. Yeah.
Exactly. And and we were always on a sound stage. We were never outside. So it was oppressive in its wonderfulness. It really was. It was a great job. We all loved being there. But after 14, 15 hours inside all day with no windows, it was crazy. And so the only way we could keep it up was to enjoy ourselves. And we had such a good time. Except we were doing an episode, I think it was The Big Goodbye in the first season.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
Yes.
Did you see that one? Yeah, good. That was a really fun show, actually, The Big Goodbye. We won a Peabody Award for The Big Goodbye, which is like top television honor. Anyway, the director got really angry with us because he couldn't calm us down. And at first, we were really good at what they would say, we have speed, which is sound. The camera would say rolling, and the director would say, and action. And usually we would be wild until we heard, okay, we have speed. And as time went on, then it became, rolling was our cue to stop misbehaving. And then it got to the point where we didn't stop until we heard action. And we would snap. But this guy just couldn't take it. He just couldn't handle the noise. And so he went to our producers and he said, I'm not going to be able to come back and direct this show anymore after this because these people are just too wild. And so the producer came down the set, Rick Berman, and he came down and he said, you know, guys, he called us all into a room. And he said, you know, your director says he's not coming back again because you are too rowdy. And he said, you've got to calm down. And Patrick looked at everybody and said, this is appalling. He goes, I am appalled. I have never, at the Royal Shakespeare Company, we are so much more restrained. We're professionals. And you people are embarrassing me. And wow. And Jonathan, your namesake, started crying. And Denise Crosby said, oh, come on, Patrick, we're having fun. He goes, fun? There's no room for fun. Anyway, well, I tell you what episode it actually was. It was the one where Denise perished in the pool of
that was a good one.
Metamucil. Yeah. Whatever it was. And the end of the episode, there was this sequence where Data goes up on a hill. Do you remember that? Yeah. To remember Tasha and look into the nothingness, as I often did. And, well, we were getting ready to rehearse the scene, and Patrick goes up on the top of the hill, and he starts spinning around, and he goes, the hills are alive with us. This is after telling us, I'm appalled at your behavior. But
You broke him.
We broke him.
That's good.
And after that, he was the worst among us for the rest of the time. He really was, and remains so to this day. Yes, well, thank you, everyone. You know my friend Ian McKellen, don't you? Ian, say a few words. Well, Patrick, thank you. I appreciate you. They're one and the same. They're the same person. Anyway, it's not my best, but it'll have to do.
It was very good.
Thank you.
Let me ask Emma a question.
Oh,
Emma,
God. Yeah. Oh, no. I'm
Emma.
braced. Yes.
of all the people you worked with on Buffy, who was the most horrible? And really, spare no feelings, because they're not here.
The most horrible?
Yeah, who did you just detest being around? Was there anyone you
How am I
actually...
supposed to answer that?
You could say no one.
Well,
I
that's
loved
not
them all.
true.
Oh. All right.
But I can't.
Well, let me say this, because I know it's a difficult position to be in,
Yeah.
because it may come back to bite you, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Was it somebody who everybody hated? Or was it only you?
No, I would say that you know
Okay, let me go like here. Let's.
I was not an island. No.
Okay, you were not an island. I'm so glad. Well, let's just say this then, because I know that's difficult. I can tell you, I liked everybody on my show, except for Michael Dorn. And no, I love Michael. I'm kidding. Seriously.
Well, wait. Let me just.
I'm serious. I loved him. But
Let me modify. I didn't
Detest.
detest. That's a very
So
strong.
strong, I mean-
that's a very strong adjective. You know, just like ugh. If you could put an adjective to ugh.
Yeah,
that.
I can do that.
That,
Detest.
No.
No?
No.
Testy.
Just not
no.
Tessie, just like
Tedious.
okay.
Do we
Yeah.
have to be around this person
I
anymore?
didn't detest. I didn't
Can't she
detest
sud-
anybody. I
Can't
didn't-
she suddenly fall to her death right now?
I never said it was
oh,
a
you didn't
she.
say it was a woman.
I
you
never
did
said
not.
it was a she.
That's true. Okay, let me ask you this: of all the all the people you worked with on Buffy,
Okay.
who was your favorite to work with?
Oh,
Did you like anyone?
I
Let's
did.
just say that.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Seth Green is he's just one of my all-time favorite people.
Seth, I worked with Seth.
Yeah.
I did a thing for. I don't know if you saw this.
Didn't you do Robot Chicken?
I did Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
I was Dr. Sung.
Yeah.
Dr. Sung doing a rap song, right? You see that?
So good.
That was great. Yeah, I loved it. Seth is
Seth's-
very talented.
Seth is brilliant
Yeah.
on every level. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's whip smart. He's hysterical. He's very generous. He's just an all-around just great person. I didn't have much to do with him, but we were always around, and we'd play Scrabble all the time. And he'd beat me, embarrassingly.
So you were studying your lines while you were playing Scrabble.
Yeah, studying. Yeah, we were studying
Yeah.
lines. I don't know how we got through. Similarly, there were some funny. Seth was very funny always. Nick was always very funny. I broke all the time with Brendan. He would just. I think he did it on purpose. And Tom Lank, I just adore him. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you're seriously missing out. Yeah. Is that?
How was
And Tony. Oh my God, Tony.
Tony who?
Tony Head, Anthony Stewart Head.
Oh, Anthony. Yeah.
Just
love him.
Just
yeah.
love him. Basically all the guys. I'm kidding.
Okay, we're narrowing it down here, folks.
No.
I know. All right. I'm going to let you off the hook.
I thought you'd ask me about Joss.
Joss, yeah.
Oh, I have to go.
What'd she say? What? You got to go?
I actually really do have to go.
Okay, let me just ask you one question before
Yeah.
you go. Joss Whedon, what's he like? He's a genius, isn't he?
He is a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually legitimately is. I'm not even. I'm sure he's got to be Mensa.
Gotta be.
He's got to be.
Have you worked with him again in anything?
No, he hates me.
He hates you?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. I'm kidding. I don't think he hates me. Hope not.
I am such a fan of his.
He's wonderful.
On so many levels. I mean, I love the Shakespeare that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Joss Whedon, he's just a genius.
He is.
really.
He is. He's very. He is very as a director especially, very exacting. And that sounds like an insult, or like, why would you want to work with someone like that? But it's actually the opposite. It can be very frustrating when you're in it, but when you see what he gets out of you, you're just very grateful for that exacting nature. I mean, down to, you know, what eye the tear comes out of, like that exacting.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Of course it was the left eye. The right eye would have been horrible. It would have been too much emotion, of course. I don't know why I fought with you on that. Yeah, he's wonderful, and hopefully I will cross paths with him creatively again.
Yeah. I'm getting a little teary right now just hearing about it.
The right eye or the left eye?
Wrong one, yeah.
The wrong eye. I have to go. I've got to go take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But
That's Emma Caulfield, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. All right. Enough of her.
Brent, you're going to despise me, but we only have 10 minutes left.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, each person gets 10 seconds. What's your question?
My question is, I saw you on Leverage, the juror number 6 job, one of my favorite episodes of Leverage. Tell me what that was like, and did Jonathan Frakes direct that one?
Was it Franks or Frakes?
Frakes.
Frakes, thank you. I had to check with the Frakes. Jonathan directed that one. It was a blast. We had a great time. Armin Shimmerman from Deep Space Nine was on that episode. He's an old friend of mine. I love Armin. His wife, Kitty, would play the judge in that episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Who else was on that? It was Lauren Halle.
Yes.
Really fun. Enjoyed very much doing that. It was produced by Dean Devlin, who did
Of course.
Independence Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a good time. You had a great time.
Loved it, yeah. Always loved working for Jonathan. He's a wonderful director. Yes, sir.
Who is your best friend while on set while
Star
filming
Trek.
Next
Doing Star Trek?
Next Generation.
Well, I love them all. In fact, I was best man in LeVar's wedding. I was best man in Patrick's second wedding. I am Gates McFadden's son's godfather. And all the rest of them I love. You know, so really, I didn't have a best friend. I loved all of them. We couldn't wait to see, any given day, what the combination of people who were going to work in a scene together was always fun to see. Oh, it's going to be me and Patrick and Gates today. Oh, wow, Marina and Jonathan and I are working today. It was always great. But the best time, by far, was always on the bridge when we were all there, because we laughed all day long. We really did. I mean, Patrick said one time, I don't think I'll ever do a job where I laugh all day long again. And we sort of had to, but it was fun. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
What was your favorite android to act as?
My favorite android to act as? Well, I enjoyed acting as all of them. Probably my favorite would be Lore, because I could be myself for a change, you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
He had the same answer.
I'll kill you if I can. Thank you. Hey.
Hey, did you have a particular cast member that you like to pick on the most over the other ones? You know.
Well, you know, I guess we didn't really pick on any of us. I mean,
Practical joke-wise.
No, there were never practical jokes on the set. Seriously, when people think there were, but it was everyone was funny. We laughed all the time. Probably Dorn made us all laugh collectively the most because he never knew his lines. But he knew his lines. He just, Star Trek was an odd animal because we found, and I certainly found this, that when I studied my lines the night before, if I didn't say them out loud, I was going to have trouble saying them the next day. And so I said them out loud. We had guest stars who didn't get that, and they'd freak out because they couldn't say it, and they had thought they knew them, and they did know them, but their mouths had not yet gotten used to saying those words. It's muscle learning. Dorn was just like those guys. He learned the lines, but you can see it in some of the outtakes. He's behind us all on the horseshoe, and he's in the very back. And when Patrick's in the center, and I'm on one side, LeVar's on the other, or Will, somebody, Jonathan and Marina are on the sides, and you can see Michael, and you can see it in Patrick's face if you look. He is just waiting, because Michael never did a first take. We never printed a first take because he never got it right. You would say, he would go, Captain, and they go, okay, take two. Michael, and action. Captain, oh. And you can see it in Patrick's face as he goes, and action. Patrick's going, because he knows what's coming is going to be a mess. But there you are. Okay. Thank you, sir. Hiya.
Hello. If you could choose your own holodeck adventure, what would you choose?
Yeah. I'm having it right now. This is it. I would be in Raleigh, North Carolina, on a stage with Kid Cadet Frakes.
That's right.
There you
I
are.
appreciate that. Thank you for making me part of it.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Not good enough?
No, it's good.
I would be, yeah, no, that's it.
Well, thank you. I just want to say you're awesome.
Thank you,
Yesterday when
darling.
I met you, you were really, really nice. You made me very comfortable.
I'm so glad.
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very nervous. I've never done this before.
Okay, everything's going to be fine.
Thank you. But,
Do we have a medic in the house? Yeah.
I was wondering, what is your favorite musical that you were in?
My favorite musical I was in?
Yes.
Well, I've been really lucky. I've done 5 musicals on Broadway and a couple of other places. I've had great experiences. You know, I have to say probably the best experience. I played John Adams in 1776 on Broadway, and who could ask for more? You know, it was wonderful.
One of the best parts.
But I got to work with Stephen Sondheim in Sunday in the Park with George, and in Los Angeles I did a production of Men of La Mancha, and there's not a better part than that. And that's all I have to say to you, young lady.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for braving it.
You did great.
Yeah.
You survived. Whoop. Oh, almost.
It's okay, it's fine. Hank here.
Hey.
Thanks for the Sherlock Holmes recommendation yesterday.
Okay.
At the panel, and one question: besides Laurel and Hardy, who are your heroes in the business?
Well, you know, I'm a real fan, particularly of comedy. So, as you say, Laurel and Hardy, that's my sort of the mark of which I can have friends or not have friends. If I meet somebody and I say, what do you think? Do you like Laurel and Hardy? If they say no, we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Because they were genius. But I like them all. I like Chaplin and Keaton and the Marx Brothers and... did you do a little dance just now?
No, I was doing
okay. Chaplin and Keaton and the Marx Brothers and, you know, all the greats. I mean, I like Peter Sellers. I'm a huge fan of Peter Sellers.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, there you are.
Thank you for asking that. I learned about Laurel and Hardy from an interview you did with Mike from Cinemassacre years ago.
Well, there you are. Thank you so much.
So, Brent, I'm getting the cue that this has to be the last question.
Last question. I'm so sorry to you. Who thinks they have the best question?
Right here.
I'm sorry. Hey, wait. Before Mr. Data, what was your question?
I just wanted to know what was it like to voice the character Puck on Disney's Gargoyles?
Okay, that's a bad question. No. It was like swimming in a rainbow with thousands of naked babies. Okay, yeah.
So during
Isn't that a great looking Data right there?
So during the first season of TNG, the show's future was decidedly uncertain.
Yes.
At what point did you personally realize that it was a hit? And
Okay, that's a good question. Did you hear that back there? Yeah. The show was on shaky feet. I mean, again, we had some good episodes the first season, more not so good than good. I mean, we had Big Bye was a really good show, and we had a couple others that were pretty good. I think the turning point for us really was when Whoopi Goldberg came on the show. I really do. I think it just made a huge difference. And what happened was our producer, Rick Berman, called me in the summer before Whoopi came on, and he said, "You're not going to believe this. We have a new cast member next season, a big movie star. Can you guess who it is?" And I said, I don't know. Give me a clue. And he said, "Okay, Jewish." I said, "Jewish?" I said, "Well, it's got to be Judd Hirsch." And he said, no, it's Whoopi Goldberg. And I went, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, she called. She said, I'd love to be on the show." And Rick said, "Well, we'll write you an episode." And she said, "No, you don't get it. I want to be on the show." And that was when she was at the peak of her movie stardom. She won an Oscar while she was doing the show with us. And they built her a set, and that turned out to be fabulous and offer so many opportunities. And she was just great. It was a great character, Guinan. But I think that's when people started to take us seriously, because she was a big movie star. And all of a sudden, they went, "What? Whoopi Goldberg's on a syndicated show? A space show? Okay, we'll watch that." And we took off after that. And we also had some really good writers come onto the show, like Ron Moore and Brandon Braga, and just a whole slew, Mike Pillar, a whole slew of wonderful writers came on. Yeah? Yeah. All right. One more question and I'm out of here. I know.
As long as, okay.
One more. Let's have it. Anyway, there you go, mate.
Pilot episode of TNG, you got to work with DeForest Kelley.
Yeah.
Was that an effort at justifying that this was the new Star Trek?
In what sense? No, I tell you what, I think it was just an homage, and they want to do a passing of the torch thing, and so they asked DeForest. DeForest, by the way, was, and I love all the guys from the original series. I know them all. I've met everybody. I love Bill Shatner. I loved Leonard. I know all of them. And I think they would all agree that DeForest was the best of all of them as a person, a great, great guy. And he made us feel so comfortable. And there you are. Thank you, everybody.
One more time for Brent Spiner!
Love you, Raleigh.